trends of the economy may very well be good. If you don't have money in the stock market, if you don't have a fancy retirement account and you're just trying to get by, people know that they had more money 5 years ago. They probably think Trump's a jerk. They might not like how he talks about people, but they're voting on, I'm working harder than I ever have been and I'm still not getting ahead. And I respect those people and I respect their vote. And
it's clear to me and everybody else that the Democrats' messaging is off. The way that you guys responded to my post tells me a whole lot about your party. You guys say that you're about being tolerant and kind and loving and accepting and all these things, but the comment section is very revealing. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my video, 7 Reasons Why I Voted for President Trump. All I was doing was sharing why I voted for him. And obviously 75 million other people agree with me. But I wanted to make another video and talk to you guys because I want you to realize something. You're not salty anymore. The Democrat Party has lost its flavor. The American people don't resonate with your messaging. And I'm not the only person who believes that.
A question to her followers to try to make sense of last week's election results. Take a look.
If you voted for Donald Trump and me, or if you voted for Donald Trump and voted Democratic down ballot, I would really love to hear from you. This is not a place of judgment. I'm not going to put your stuff on blast or anything like that or dunk on it. That's genuinely not the intent here. I actually want to learn from you. I want to hear what you were thinking, and I just want to hear from you. So if you did that, I don't even know if anybody like that is even watching this right now, but if you are, please fill out a little Q&A here and just tell me what your thought process was.
So the answers she received included that both AOC and who seem like outsiders more than DC establishment, and they both seem to care about the working class. Did any responses give you any insight? I don't know how many of the responses you've seen, so I saw asking me saying that I don't know. What did you see?
I did look. I saw some of them because I think a lot of us are trying to figure out how this happened, right?
Before we get into Sunny's response, I'm going to pause it really quick because I don't want to get copyrighted. But this is an honest conversation, an open conversation that needs to be had. At the end of the day, I don't care if you guys win another election. But what I do care about is the future of the American people. I care about the future of this country because one day, God may bless me to have children. He might. And so I want them to grow up in a country that they can actually live in and be safe in and have a good life in. You guys are upset with me as though I'm just one person. That's all I am. I'm one person sharing my opinion. There's no reason, absolutely no reason at all, that you guys should be acting so unhinged. You guys have gone so far to the point where you now are unreachable to the American people. It's like there's no balance anymore. There's no sense of reasoning anymore. And then you have the nerve to wonder why someone voted differently. Obviously, you're not resonating with the people anymore. If you guys notice, who was on the front of the Oklahoma newspaper? It was a black woman. It was a conservative woman. Obviously, the party is changing. The party is more accepting. The party is welcoming in people who may not look like the traditional party. Okay. So let's continue.
So I think people are starting to have a little bit of buyer's remorse. We actually have a graphic on the morning of Election Day. Yes, on November 5th, before the polls were even closed, Google Trends saw a spike in searches for how to change my vote.
Look at how this lady is looking at her. Look at how that lady is looking at her. She's looking at her like, girl, what are you talking about? Because she makes no sense. she's reaching at this point.
Won by Trump. So when we say your vote is your power, we mean it. And I think people are realizing that they have a little buyer's remorse now.
I would say major kudos to AOC. I think the best thing I could hear from a politician, left, right, or center, is I want to understand you about the voting public. And I'm in that boat where I want to understand what drove Republicans to Trump, what drove Democrats where they are. And what I keep coming away from, based on everything I'm reading and folks I'm talking to, is the old James Carville quote, "It's the economy, stupid." And every time that people hear elites, whether it's Goldman Sachs analysts or elected members of Congress, saying the economy is actually doing better than you think, I'm sorry, no one knows how much money they have and how to stretch the value of a dollar better than a single mom or a dad trying to provide for his family who's struggling to make ends meet. That is just the reality. So people get offended when they kept hearing, no, things are actually better. Things are actually better than you think they are. And well, the macro trends of the economy may very well be good. If you don't have money in the stock market, if you don't have a fancy retirement account and you're just trying to get by, people know that they had more money 5 years ago. They probably think Trump's a jerk. They might not like how he talks about people, but they're voting on, I'm working harder than I ever have been, and I'm still not getting ahead. And I respect those people, and I respect their vote. And
I think that...
Hold up. She said what she said. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is from a Democrat voter, guys. I'm not just saying this to make anybody upset. I'm just sitting here telling you guys, this is why you lost. I'm actually doing you a favor so that maybe you can do better. Relate to the American people. Connect with the American people. The American people care about groceries. They care about whether they can put gas in their car. They care about whether their child won't have to worry about the opposite sex going into their restroom. This is what the American people care about, y'all. I'm not making this up. 75 million plus other people agree with what I'm saying. And I don't know if I said this, but I want to welcome all my returning subscribers. And if you're new here, welcome to the Samara Neely Show. I'm happy to have you here. Let y'all hear what this lady had to say. Please excuse me because I don't know her name, but I thought she had something good to contribute to the conversation, even though Sunny cut her off, because she typically cuts people off. But I wanted y'all to hear from a Democrat perspective what the truth is. Go ahead and check this out.
They may have won, but that does not change, as Kamala Harris said, my values and what I vote for. And so whenever...
But these people didn't vote for character, did they?
No, they didn't, but I did. And that's why I would say that when I see things that are out of touch with what I thought was going on, I will always look inward. It is just the way I am. It's what I learned in church. It's what I learned from my parents. So I will not change my viewpoint because it didn't win this election, but I will open my ears to people that said, I have issues too, and they're different from yours, and this is why. And I think that's why what she did was so important, because she and Donald Trump are rarely put in the same sentence. And the fact that she got responses of people saying, you both seem to care about the working class. We sit here not voting for Donald Trump saying, huh? Yeah. But there's a point there because there were millions and millions of people that felt heard. And that's what I'm trying to lock into. It won't change my stance, or maybe it will. I'm open to someone trying to convince me.
That Donald Trump is good for people?
If that's what you're hearing, you're missing my whole point. I am. So my bigger point here is that I am listening to a lot of people. This will not be the end of anything I want to fight for, but I will look back because I've played sports through college, and you never ignored the tapes of the game and just said they cheated. You look at the game, you assess it, and you go forward.
You know what else, though? People know they're Congress people. People know...
Before I end this clip, or, we go to the next thing, I want y'all to watch what Whoopi Goldberg said. A woman who's worth millions of dollars, who gets paid millions per year. This is what she had to say.
Primary states.
I'm sorry, when you have one candidate who has been running for 12 years,
Right.
who lies and changes things, I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person, and my kid has to feed her family.
What is she
and
talking
my
about?
great-granddaughter.
What is she talking about? Whoopi Goldberg is a rich woman. This is how out of touch the Democrat Party is. They thought that bringing these celebrities on, trying to bring Beyonce into the mix, would actually help them. No, the American people have spoken. They want something different. They're not going back. We're not going back. We've been unburdened by what has been, and we're moving forward. Turning the page. So therefore, there's nothing to defend here, because at the end of the day, we've already won. But my hope is that you wake up and realize that there are issues within your party that need to change. You don't need this book. It's called The Conservative Heart. This book changed my whole life. This is the reason why I'm a conservative, is because of what I read in this book. This book sums up what it truly means to be conservative. It's about valuing faith, family, community, and meaningful work. I actually turned in this book and I just went to a random page. I've highlighted quite a few things just because I read this book a while ago, years ago at this point. But I just flipped to a random page and this quote was highlighted from Aristotle. Aristotle wrote, "Happiness belongs to the self-sufficient." No matter who's in office, at the end of the day, your life is up to you. Your success is up to you. You have to take it and run with it. Nobody's coming to save you. At the end of the day, we all got to get up. We all got to go to work. We all have to make it happen. So, we can talk, we can chat it up about politics, we can do all that stuff, but at the end of the day, let's understand something. We're all Americans. We're ultimately on the same team. And I don't want y'all to get to a point where y'all allow them, the powers that be, to divide us so much to the point where we try to alienate people just because they have a difference of opinion. I don't want y'all to get to that point. I don't want us to get to that point. Because at the end of the day, I'm thinking about the American experiment. And it's so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than you. You watching. This is about the next generation of Americans. The America that our children's children will inherit. How do we want that to look? That's the question that the American people answered on November 5th. Who they wanted. Now it's time for y'all to wake up. We're done with the wokeism. We're done with the agenda that y'all are pushing. The American people are turning the page. They want something different. Okay? I love you guys. I love all my Kamala Harris people. And I love just like I love my Trump supporters. Just like I said last time. And to those of you who said, oh, you didn't really explain. I watched my video 3 times. Went back and watched it 3 times. I've already mentioned that I've interviewed the governor. I've interviewed Siobhan Fleet. Go back and check the other videos so you can see the work that I've been doing for this whole year, making sure that you're informed of a different perspective because I love you, because I love this country. At the end of the day, at one point, I used to be combative like you guys. I used to be like, oh, no, that's wrong. Until I started thinking about something different. Until I started actually questioning my own belief system. That's when I changed my mind. And I know you can too. I love you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. You'll talk to me soon. Bye.